Tiffany has been making waves in the small town of Dalton, but recently, she's become the center of a major controversy. Not only is she the mayor of Dalton, but she also oversees Thorne Township. However, the FBI is now investigating her, accusing her of using town funds for questionable purposes. Tiffany strongly denies these allegations, claiming she's being framed. So what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's take a closer look at Tiffany's life. You might think her job as mayor is the only thing she's focused on, but she's actually running a side business that's turning heads. In fact, she's making a lot more money than you might expect. In addition to being the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany also supervises Thorne Township, a dual role that's created quite a bit of drama. These two positions have put Tiffany in the spotlight, but not for the reasons you might expect. As Dalton's mayor, Tiffany is all about maintaining the town's aesthetics and ensuring that the basic services, like street repairs and waste collection, are functioning properly. However, when she steps into her role as supervisor of Thorne Township, she takes on a more hands-on approach, helping residents with everything from utility bills to funeral expenses, almost like a personal charity. But here's the catch: these generous actions come with a hefty price tag. Tiffany earns over $200,000 a year from both positions combined, far more than many people in Dalton make in 5 years. This salary, combined with her extensive involvement in town affairs, has some questioning whether Tiffany's actions are truly altruistic or if she's been mismanaging public funds for personal gain. As the FBI digs deeper into her finances, it's clear that the story is far from over. Will Tiffany be vindicated, or is there more to this case than meets the eye? Stay tuned as this drama continues to unfold. Before Tiffany was elected mayor in 2021, there was already talk about her ambitious nature, with some critics calling her a super mayor. They argue that she holds too much power, juggles too many roles, and doesn't have enough time to do them all properly. Dalton, once known for its community events like festivals and parades, has become all about Tiffany. And while some residents are cheering her on, others aren't so thrilled about her being in the spotlight. Criticism of Tiffany's leadership style surfaced early, with many calling her cunning, especially after she founded her own breast cancer charity. While the idea itself seemed noble, the fact that it was funded by taxpayer dollars raised eyebrows. It's hard to ignore the financial questions surrounding her, especially since Dalton is facing a significant budget crisis, a $2 million deficit. That's a major red flag, and some wonder whether Tiffany's charity is just another way of using public money for personal projects. Tiffany, however, insists that both of her positions are legitimate and necessary for the town. She stands firm on her actions, claiming that everything she's doing is for the good of the community. But with the pressure mounting, it's easy to wonder whether Tiffany is truly serving the people or if she's just building her own empire. What started as local gossip has now snowballed into a full-blown investigation. The FBI has entered the scene, looking into her financial dealings and examining how she's been spending the town's funds. It's not just her say anymore. The feds are digging deep, speaking to anyone and everyone to find out if Tiffany has been misappropriating taxpayer money. Tiffany, however, isn't backing down. She's ready for the heat and insists the entire investigation is a setup. "Bring it on," she says, claiming it's all just an attempt to take her down. As the FBI digs deeper and the drama unfolds, the question remains, is Tiffany really working for the people of Dalton, or is there something much more self-serving going on? Only time will tell. There's a lot of buzz around Tiffany right now, and she's sticking to her claim of innocence. She insists that someone is trying to set her up, but let's be real. The FBI doesn't just show up without reason. They're not only asking questions, they've stepped up their game, using high-tech surveillance to track her spending. It sounds like something straight out of a spy thriller, but this is real life, and Tiffany is at the center of the drama. The investigation isn't just about money. The FBI is digging into her charity, her political fund, and even her personal business. They're leaving no stone unturned to figure out if there's more to her financial dealings than what's visible on the surface. But here's where it gets even juicier. Tiffany's right-hand man, Freeman Keith Key, is also in hot water. He's been accused of bankruptcy fraud, and investigators are now looking into his role in all of this. It's a tangled web, and the feds are trying to unravel it all. Tiffany has been trying to play it cool, claiming her heavy security detail is due to personal threats she's received. "We have about 45 officers in our village, so my security is justified," she explains. "These threats are real, and it's part of our collective bargaining agreement." She insists that it wasn't her decision to have security, but rather something covered under the union contract. "I didn't just make it up," she says. "I even went to court after being sued, and the judge ruled that I could have security because it was already in the CBA." But is that really all there is to it? Is Tiffany's security truly about threats, or is there more to the story? As the FBI continues its investigation and Tiffany faces growing scrutiny, one thing is clear: this drama is far from over, and there's still much to uncover. Former employees and business owners are starting to speak out, accusing Tiffany of dishonesty and suggesting she's been targeting those who don't support her or contribute to her campaigns. While Tiffany makes logical arguments in her defense, her credit card statements tell a different story. How can a small-town mayor justify spending taxpayer money on first-class flights and luxury hotels when her city is facing a $2 million deficit? Imagine this: Dalton is struggling financially, yet Tiffany is living it up, staying in fancy hotels, enjoying expensive meals, and flying first class like she's on a never-ending vacation. And guess who's picking up the tab? The taxpayers. What might seem like occasional perks turns out to be much more than that. Thousands of dollars are being charged to town credit cards, not just for official travel, but also for personal expenses. It's as if Tiffany has carte blanche access to the town's funds and isn't hesitating to use them. But it doesn't stop there. Tiffany has also been putting up billboards all over town, billboards that many thought were meant to promote Dalton or local events. However, these signs are being paid for with public funds, which according to state law is illegal when it comes to advertising oneself. Yet Tiffany doesn't seem concerned about these legalities. She continues her spending spree despite clear guidelines in place to prevent misuse of taxpayer money. In fact, some cities like New Orleans have policies that specifically prohibit city officials from traveling first class, staying in expensive hotels, or dining lavishly at the taxpayer's expense. But Tiffany doesn't follow suit. She defends her lavish lifestyle, saying that people will always criticize those at the top, even when they're doing the work. "They talk about me because they're not the ones putting in the effort," she says, brushing off the criticism. But is Tiffany really doing the work? Or has she forgotten that, as an elected official, her priority should be serving the people, not indulging in luxury at their expense? The controversy continues to build, and the question remains: is Tiffany serving her community or serving herself? While the people of Dalton are struggling to make ends meet, Tiffany is living like a celebrity, flying first class, staying in upscale hotels, enjoying fancy dinners, and plastering billboards with her face all over town. This extravagant lifestyle is a stark contrast to the daily reality of the residents she's supposed to be serving. What's got people talking isn't just the lavish spending, it's what Tiffany isn't doing. Dalton has serious problems that need fixing, but it seems like Tiffany is more focused on her own comfort and public image than addressing the town's needs. Some are still giving Tiffany the benefit of the doubt, but others are beginning to wonder if she's lost touch with reality. How can she justify all this spending when Dalton's finances are in such disarray? It's like she's living in a fantasy world where money grows on trees and budgets don't exist. As the town faces a $2 million deficit, her choices are raising serious questions about her priorities. Tiffany, however, isn't backing down. She continues to claim that everything she's done is above board, insisting that she's innocent. But with the FBI now involved and so many allegations swirling, it's hard to ignore the connection between her lavish lifestyle and Dalton's financial struggles. People are starting to connect the dots, asking tough questions about where the town's money is really going and whether Tiffany is truly acting in the best interests of the community. The question remains, is Tiffany truly innocent, as she claims, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Only time and the investigation will tell. The big question everyone's asking is, where is all the town's money really going? Is it being used to fix the roads and fund schools, or is it financing Tiffany's jet-setting lifestyle and billboards featuring her face everywhere? While the people of Dalton are struggling, Tiffany seems more focused on living the high life, and it's raising some serious concerns. But it's not just the personal expenses that are under scrutiny. Remember that breast cancer charity Tiffany set up? Turns out it's also being funded by taxpayers, and that's leaving many wondering if she's really trying to help others, or if this is just another way for her to boost her image. Tiffany, however, isn't backing down. She's been fiercely defending herself, claiming she's innocent and that this whole situation is just a setup. She insists that she's the victim in all of this drama, and she's addressing the accusations head-on. One of the most talked about topics has been her security detail, which she claims is not just for show. Tiffany says her life is in danger, but the question remains, what kind of danger is she really in? Or is this another excuse to live a luxurious lifestyle at taxpayers' expense? When it comes to her spending, Tiffany argues that everything she's done is completely legitimate, but critics are asking, where are the receipts? Tiffany's defense isn't just about her own actions. She's pointing fingers at the trustees, claiming they're the real problem. In her view, she's the hero trying to help the people, while the trustees are the villains trying to bring her down. She even suggests that the entire FBI investigation, along with the lawsuits and accusations, is a political conspiracy to remove her from office. So is she truly the victim of a master plan, or is this just her way of avoiding responsibility? Tiffany has also faced criticism for her expensive travel, including first-class flights and five-star hotels. She's defended these lavish trips, saying they're a necessary part of her job as mayor. However, many are still skeptical, especially as she faces lawsuits from former employees, which she dismisses as just more attacks from her enemies. And speaking of drama, Tiffany's former right-hand man, Keith Freeman, is now in the spotlight. Freeman, once the go-to guy for Tiffany's financial decisions, is at the center of the storm after being accused of bankruptcy fraud. But rather than staying silent, Freeman has been cooperating with the FBI, revealing details about Tiffany's spending patterns. This is where things get interesting. Freeman has been with Tiffany since she became mayor, and if he's talking to the FBI, he likely has a lot to share. Tiffany's attorneys are trying to use Freeman as part of their defense, arguing that Tiffany was inexperienced in her role as mayor and had to rely on Freeman to handle the financial decisions. They're trying to portray her as a gullible newcomer who was exploited by Freeman. But with Freeman working with the FBI and spilling the details, this could be bad news for Tiffany. Some are claiming that Tiffany is trying to make Freeman a scapegoat to save herself, but will that strategy work? As Freeman's involvement with the FBI deepens, it's clear this case is far from over, and Tiffany may be facing more trouble than she's letting on. Next level, even wearing costumes to board meetings to make politics more entertaining. Some people find this humorous, while others see it as unprofessional. Tiffany is laughing it off though, refusing to take the criticism too seriously. But you might wonder, isn't she under investigation by the FBI? Why is she focusing on her image instead of the serious matters at hand? The truth is, Tiffany seems to be trying to change the narrative, diverting attention away from the investigation with her antics. While some find it amusing, others see it as a tactic to distract from the bigger issues. Tiffany calls all the negative attention a smear campaign and argues that many people in Dalton are still on her side. Her supporters attend meetings, defend her on social media, and continue to back her publicly. She's even gained a little fan club thanks to those billboards. However, not all of her supporters are thrilled with the situation, and there's a divide in the town. It's like there's a clear split between #Team Tiffany and #Team FBI. So what's Tiffany doing to handle all the drama? She's doubling down. She's talking about transparency and accountability, insisting she wants to rebuild trust with the community. But at the same time, she's not backing down from her lavish lifestyle. Tiffany may be putting on a show, but the real drama is just beginning. The FBI is closely examining her actions, and with several lawsuits hanging over her head, the stakes couldn't be higher. Whether Tiffany can maintain her celebrity status or whether the mounting legal and financial pressure will catch up to her remains to be seen. Tiffany is definitely facing a mountain of pressure with a storm of drama building around her. The FBI is investigating her finances, and she's got multiple lawsuits hanging over her head. 3 former employees are accusing her of firing them for refusing to cooperate with her questionable dealings. There are also allegations of her punishing business owners who didn't support her and trying to keep public records under wraps. These aren't small accusations. They're serious. The FBI isn't just scratching the surface either. They've shifted into full investigative mode, talking to business owners and ex-employees, digging into every penny Tiffany has spent. Despite Tiffany's insistence that everything is a setup, the FBI is getting to the bottom of things. If these lawsuits move forward and the investigation uncovers something suspicious, Tiffany could be in deep trouble, losing her job, facing fines, or even worse. But don't count Tiffany out yet. She's proven she knows how to work the crowd, and her social media antics, including posting selfies and wearing costumes to board meetings, have kept her in the public eye. She's not just letting the rumors fly, she's actively trying to change the conversation, attempting to turn herself into a pop culture sensation while the FBI digs through her finances. Some people are amused by her antics, but others see it as a distraction from the real issues at hand. Tiffany has brushed off the criticism, calling it a smear campaign and insisting she's the victim in all of this. Despite the backlash, she still has a loyal fan base in Dalton, with supporters defending her on social media and attending meetings to back her up. But there's a divide in the town. People are either hashtag Team Tiffany or hashtag Team FBI. The tension is palpable. So what's next for Tiffany? She's doubling down on her claims of transparency and accountability, but she's not giving up her lavish lifestyle. She wants to rebuild trust with the community, but many wonder if that's even possible. With the FBI continuing their investigation and more lawsuits on the horizon, the drama is just getting started. Some folks believe Tiffany's days as mayor are numbered and that she won't make it to the next election. Others argue she's brought more attention to Dalton than anyone else ever has, and they're still behind her. Regardless of where people stand, this story is far from over. More revelations could be coming, and Tiffany might just have a few tricks left up her sleeve. But as the FBI digs deeper, the pressure is mounting, and it seems like the real drama is just beginning. Is Tiffany the victim of a setup, or is there more to the story than she's letting on? The FBI is still investigating, and who knows what they'll uncover next. Meanwhile, Tiffany continues to live large on taxpayer money, raising the question, what does being a mayor really mean? Some people believe she should be charged with theft and removed from office, feeling that until politicians face consequences for misusing tax dollars, they'll continue their behavior unchecked. The town's split, but one thing is for sure, the storm is far from over.